Hey everyone, Kyle once again, aka Jurassic Godzilla fan, welcome back. And now I'm moving on. Since I reviewed the truly, purely classic film Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, I'm now going to review onto the great sequel, Homeward Bound II, Lost in San Francisco. And like I said this is what I say was a really good, solid sequel. I really also, another film with like I said, me and my brother grew up watching this as kids. We both also watched this a lot too, the sequel, which I thought was really great. And once again, um, and this film, Sally Field and Michael J. Fox, they come back as the voice of Sassy and Chance, but this time Shadow is this time being voiced by Ralph Waite, because at the time, it's been because Don Michi was originally the voice of Shadow, who's been passed since then. So now Ralph Waite has been taken over as the voice of Shadow, which I think he did did a really good job, because he did probably almost like an exact same voice that Don Michi did. So yeah, I thought he did a really good job as the voice of Shadow. Sally Field, Michael J. Fox, still really great as the voices of Sassy and Chance too. And released on March 8th, 1996, 3 years after the first. Made 30. It did really good, Like so, the first one was 41 million worldwide. This one did pretty good, 32 million, or over 32 million in the box office. So they did pretty good. Um, Dwayne Dunham didn't come back to direct this one. This time it's directed. This was also the first film that was directed. It was the first film that was directed by David R. Ellis. David R. Ellis. This was his first film. R. Ellis. This is the only kids film he's directed for his first film. But then he would go later on to direct Final Destination 2 and 4, and then he would direct Snakes on a Plane, and then he directed the really good flick Cellular with Chris Evans, and then his last film they did was Shark Night 3D. That was his last film because I believe he died. David Arliss he died in at the beginning of January of this year 2013. So may he rest in peace. But yeah, Shark Night was his last film before his death. But it's his first film. He did really such a great job for his first film, Homeward Bound II, Lost in San Francisco. Has much more lower ratings on both IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, which is sad though. But I think that both could be very high, On Rotten Tomatoes has a 53% Rotten Tomatoes compared to the first film, 87%, and the film has a 5.6 on IMDb compared to the first film of 6.7. Both can be pretty high though. But at least it has some positive reception right here, like American Urban Radio Networks, Totally Irresistible, a family winner. Do agree on that. And the Chicago Tribune, nothing short of astounding. So and also New York Post, bound to please the entire family. Certainly pleased me. So now it's taking like some of the film takes place like it's a few years since the first film, where the family is now living in the city of San Francisco. Living in the city of San Francisco. They're planning on going on a camping trip to Canada. Chance's owner Jamie, Chance's owner Jamie, he's been developing like a sort of a bit of an attitude not wanting to play with Chance anymore, focusing more on his little league baseball, Chance, he's told him many times, Chance, no, don't do this, but, Chance is thinking, is like, still thinking, oh, come on, let's play, Buzz, why are you doing this, he doesn't get the idea, he doesn't want to play with them, still, and, well, also what that he talking with Sassy. She chases her up the stairs, and Robert Hayes is carrying clothes down. He makes Robert Hayes like I said, all the original family members, they all come back as the same characters too. So Robert Hayes is on the stairs carrying clothes, and Chance chases Sassy up the stairs and causing Robert Hayes to trip over and spill the clothes, and boxers land on Chance's head, and then Sassy's like nah, and so Jamie's going to his baseball game before they leave, and Chance is going to go after and follow him, but before that Sassy's inside this blue round tube, and Chance just rolls the tube the tube over and over, and Sassy's inside. He's like, "Oh no, please leave! I'm getting really dizzy. I'm gonna blow chow chow everywhere." And his dogs drool and cats drool, and Chance gets all very dizzy. He's like, "Oh my head! Oh man, I don't feel well. Just wait till I see you again. I'm going to hurt you." So he follows Chance to the baseball game, and there's some other dogs sitting on the sidelines. They're like, the announcers. They're commenting upon the baseball game. And Chance, can't help himself, so he goes and steals the baseball. Runs off in the field, and the kids are chasing after him, and the dogs are still commenting. He's like, he's out of there. And Jamie's not happy about it. So they have the whole car packed. So they're gonna drive out to the airport. They said that they're giving them tranquilizers so they don't feel car sick on the way. But Chance barfs his up, and he's like, and there was a ball in the vomit. It's like, oh, so that's where that went, So they're at the airport. They're gonna get put in cages, and then Chance is getting all scared. I was like, oh no, please, and asking Jamie for help, and Jamie's like, see you later, like that, give him the brush off. And so as they're getting carted away, he gets afraid. He gets more afraid. He moves the cage around, and it falls down. It breaks open. So so Chance is gonna run back towards the inside of the airport, but Sassy unlocks both her and Shadow's. And as they're inside, they can't find the family, so they run into the place where they have all the luggage are being sorted, So they run out into the runway. Hopefully the family's on the plane, so they'll sit in front of the runway hoping they'll see them. They'll stop though, but the plane doesn't see them, so it takes off over them, and Chance is like, I wasn't scared when bit, and you see that he wet himself, So then they see that some employees, they see them, they really run after them, they hop over the fence. Oh, Sassy runs over the fence, and of course it was like the same thing in the first film. They dig a hole, but Chance gets stuck in. It's like, why does this always happen to me? So they get out, and since they can't follow, since they can't follow the family, so they decide to walk. So they decide to walk all the way back home. So because they said, remember going across the Golden Gate Bridge. They want to know where that's at. So because that was the only way they came from. But as they're walking, they're walking through the streets of San Francisco. like one brother to sit in front of sitting in front of the horizon while someone's painting them, you know. But then they get into an alley. They come across some stray dogs. Whether they get those dogs' name, Ashcan and Riley. They tell me they don't want any trouble, but they get in a fight. But then some other stray dogs come in, and Chance runs away, like sort of like a distraction. They get sort of like a distraction, but they found out they don't know where he went, but they send the leader of the pack is actually no wait actually I was wrong on that. Riley, he's the leader. He's the leader of the group of stray dogs. One of the dogs is Ashcan, but I forgot what the other dog was name was. Just want to get the names. Think it was think it was Pete. I think maybe it was Pete. I forget what the other name was. One of them, I know one of them was Ashcan. I think the other dog name was Pete. But Riley, he's the leader of this group of stray dogs. But they know they know that chances run off so much. But so the female dog by the name of Delilah runs. She goes and runs after him. Chance is thinking, oh no, it's one of them, you know. But thing is like, oh no, I'm done for. But she goes and licks him, like, you know, what are you doing, you know? But after that, she's not dangerous, so they decide to walk. So they decide to walk off together. She shows them a place where the park was, you know, where her favorite place to hang out. And she gives a chance of the story about how you know how all those dogs were strays, and she gives them the story that how it started with Riley, how he ended up becoming a stray, thinking where how it led to how Riley thinks humans are bad, because when he was a puppy, he was a Christmas present to this kid though, and the kid didn't want him. The kid did not want him at all, so they just left Riley in a box on a side of the street when it was cold and rainy. So that's why Riley thinks that humans are bad, you know. So but then while also they're as they're walking on, they're come across a couple of other these two guys in this red van, which they with stray dogs called the Blood Red Van. They're the dog snatchers, and they snatch dogs on the street where they take them to a place that they call the lab. But you know, they caught a few strays, like one part where there was a small little poodle that was attached to the guy that where the owner tied to a fire hydrant while he went to a convenience store. Like the van pulls up, thinking it's a stray dog, you know. Well, and the lead guy was named as Jack. He bends over and in his pants rip open. The French poo's like, "Oh, you're so fat, you explode your pants." And as he picked up the dog, he peed on him, but he like, "That mutt peed on me." I hate dogs, you know. So they always try to hide. The other dogs try to hide from them, so to avoid being captured. They decided that Shadow and Chance they were not going to get help from Riley because he doesn't like humans, so they decided to go off on their own. But then later when they come across this house that they have come across before when they try to where Sassy like go up to the kid who has this little kid and a little kitten try to beg for food though, but they couldn't. Um, they came across this same house before, but it caught on fire. That they caught on fire, but you find out the dog snatcher Jack he was smoking a cigar and he threw like into this dry grass that's at the side of the house and it caught on fire. So that's how this house caught on fire. And the boy was still inside, so Shadow and Sassy decided to go in, rescue the boy and the little kitten, and the other stray Riley and his group of stray dogs. They're watching from a view, thinking why would they help out the human? Why would they help him out? You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, why would they help out this human? You know. So they rescue the kid and the little kitten. Like Sassy comes out holding the kid in her mouth, like, "Will someone get this little hair out of my mouth? And my mouth smells, tastes like an ashtray." He's like, "But that's it? No tuna? No fish? No nothing?" So they made with the gang again, with the group again. That was pretty cool what they did for the human, you know. So they lead him to their secret location, like in this abandoned area, an abandoned warehouse, you know, where no humans go to, you know. That's the dogs' home. And you find out that Chance and Delilah were sleeping there, and they're like, a couple of the dogs like, "Oh, Delilah and Chance didn't get Tricky Ksing, you know." Um, and they think it's not a good idea, so they go outside, and um, Chance sees this big tire, and Shadow comes to Delilah, tells him, you know, he should let Chance go. He doesn't want to take to survive in the big city. Everything's a gain to him. But Delilah says that he's alright. I can take care of him. But then the van approaches again, and they'll run in. But Chance is still outside, you know, not knowing anything was going on. The two guys, Jack, he's holding like a cheeseburger because tell him for a distraction, while his buddy has, you know, this thing, you know, where they snatch up dogs from, you know. He gets captured and gets thrown in the back of the van. So the other dogs, they come up with a plan, you know, to stand right in front of them, you know. But the guy Jack, you know, tells him, you know, you gotta show him who's boss, you know. Tells his friend to floor, you know, but his buddy doesn't want to. But Jack steps on the pedal, you know, steps on the pedal, you know, keeps on driving, but they swerve the van. The two guys they run out. Riley gets the guy Jack from, you know, biting on his pants, you know, his underpants, and another dog bites on the other guy's leg. While one of the other dogs puts the van in reverse, and it falls off the pier and sinks into the water. And the two guys, they get away, run away. And Delilah tells Chance, you know, finally tells him, you know, you're not, for how it was, you know, not, I wasn't another dog, you know, not my type, or this. And Chance, he gets all heartbroken, you know, tells him to leave, everybody leave him alone. Even as he's walking, he says, I know being heartbroken hurts, but I didn't know it would hurt this much. So Riley finally shows Sassy and Shadow the bridge, and he tells him he'll keep in mind what they said about humans, you know. So as they're walking to this construction site, they come across the two alley dogs. Then Chance comes in and tells them, "Hey, come and get me," and they follow him. They get in one of the green tooths that Chance did the same thing to Sassy at the start of the film. And he's like, what is it? What the joke is? It's like, hey, bozos, what has 8 legs and screams like a baby? He's like, one of the dogs like, oh no. Ooh. He says, you guys, and they roll, and they crash into these bags of cement, and it's like, the dog's like, yeah, shut up. So Chance says he was following them since they left. So they finally come across the Golden Gate, they walk across the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, and even before that, even with the family said, they found out that they're missing, and they said that if they made their way home once before, they'll do it again. And also among that, Jamie, he starts feeling sorry for himself, how he treated Chance. So, and as they're as the family's driving back to their house, Chance stands in the middle of the road looking back at San Francisco. Then a big rig truck is approaching, and Chance shouts like, "Chance, get out of there!" And the driver hits the brakes, and when the family's behind the truck, thinking that they run the dog over. Jamie's like, no, but then he sees he's underneath the truck, like his hands underneath his head, on top of his head. And then Jamie says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I will never be mean to you again. So then later, the family's having lunch outside the backyard, but Chance, he's laying there, all sulky, because he still misses Delilah. And it says like, I'm starting to miss the old Chance. But then the Chance thought he heard barking and thought it was her, but then it was a guy and another dog walking. But then she finally approaches, she tells him, I followed my heart, wants to be with you forever. And the family, they decided to keep her, finally give her a home. And Chance, he jumps like springs real high in excitement for joy, yes. And he said, whatever could make this day any better. And he says, pizza, the pizza delivery guy comes, and he's like, oh well, slow down. He's like, oh well, he keeps on barking, keeps on barking, and he throws the pizza. Pizza flies out of the box, and he jumps forward and he gets the pizza. Like, oh, he's like, eating the pizza's like, you know what? I couldn't think of a happier ending. And then it ends with the similar score from the first film, which I thought was still pretty good. The same guy who did the music for the first film still did the music for this film. What did I say? Homeward Bound II, Lost in San Francisco. It's a really great, solid sequel to a really great film. These two films are really great. I don't find any problems whatsoever. Yeah, like, well, how Ralph Waite, replaced Don Michi, but I still think he still does almost an exact voice of Don Michi, almost. But Ralph Waite, he did such a great job as Shadow. Sally Field, Michael J. Fox, they still the perfect voices of Chance and Sassy. The other voice characters of the other dogs, they do fine. Especially I know one the voice of the actress who does the voice of Delilah, Carlo Gugino, how to pronounce her last name. I know, I recognize her. She was in Night at the Museum. She was also in I remember her from Night at the Museum. She was also in Watchmen, Race to Witch Mountain, Mr. Popper's Penguins. And oh yeah, as originally, was also the voice of oh no, not the voice, but she's also appeared in the Spy Kids films as the mother of the Spy Kids. So yeah, originally, when I first heard her voice, I didn't recognize her voice as Delilah, but a little kid's like, oh, she's the voice of Delilah, from that museum, Race to Witch Mountain, So yeah, I said, oh yeah, she's the voice of Delilah in this film. Okay. Um. So then in the other voice, other voices of the other dogs, they do a fine job. Well, I said the Ralph Waite, Michael J. Fox, Sally Field, fantastic job as Shadow, Chance, and Sassy. Great sequel. Great location. Love how the view through the sides of San Francisco. The music, I say, was still pretty good. The original score of the first film has always been the best, but the same person who did Bruce Bronson, he still did a good job for doing it like in a similar score from the first film. David R. Ellis for his first film, great job. Yeah, he's sad he's dead now, especially since he did this, he went going to Final Destination 2 and 4, Cellular, Snakes on a Plane, and Shark Night 3D. But for his first film, he did such a great job, especially since his first film was a Disney film. I don't know what to say. So yeah, there's nothing else. Since then, I don't think I never heard. I don't remember. Were they planning on making a third film? I don't think so. I would never see a third film. Never see a third film happen. I don't think I would want to, because let's be reasonable. Like, how many times are these three animals are going to get lost for a third time? I just don't see that happening. I don't think there's no third film happening. If there is, I don't want to. I think it's perfect. It's perfect how it ended with the second one. So yeah. So what can I say? These two films are great. First film, always the best, and the second film, great sequel. And like I said, the first I will put this number 2 along with the first film on the top list of my favorite Disney films. Especially with the adventures of these two dogs and a cat. So that's Homeward Bound 2. Hope you enjoy the review of my first one and now the second one. So thanks for watching and take care and stay tuned for more movie reviews later.